and welcome to the third performance of the Bohemians busket season. My name's Joel Nash, and I am the director and the co-writer of a show called Pardoned, which the Bohemians performed at the Other Palace in 2018, and then later R&D'd at Sturts Theatre in 2019. So what is Pardoned, I hear you ask? So Pardoned is a new actor-musician musical about the life of Alan Turing, a World War II codebreaker. I'm sure a lot of you know Alan Turing through the 2014 film The Imitation Game starring Benedict Cumberbatch. Our story is a little bit different to the motion picture, which focuses mainly on Alan's time as a codebreaker at Bletchley Park. But myself and my co-writer, James Hastings, we wanted to steer away from the Hollywood depiction and instead focus more on some of the hardships that Alan had to endure throughout his life as a consequence of being gay. I'm sure a lot of you know that being gay back in 1940s Britain wasn't that easy. There was no Stonewall. Being gay was often equated to being a paedophile, and certain members of the government even feared that homosexuality was a genuine threat to national security. So it certainly was not a good time to be gay. And things were so bad, in fact, that even someone like Alan Turing, a man who many people would claim helped win the war, a man who received an OBE from the Queen, and a man who is responsible for developing the technology that we still use in our phones today, that's in the phone that's filming me right now. Even a man like this, who had given so much to his country and to the rest of the world, was still convicted as a felon and was chemically castrated simply for being gay, for being himself. And sadly, in 1954, after being subjected to 12 months of hormone treatment to cure him of his homosexuality, Alan decided to take his own life. And it wasn't until many years after his death, in 2013, that Alan was finally given a posthumous pardon to basically expunge him of his so-called crimes. But one thing we must not ignore is that there were thousands of other men, just like Alan, who were also convicted of these historic crimes. But sadly, these men, unlike Alan, who, was a famous figure in the science community, these men were less fortunate and were not granted a pardon. They were forgotten about. That was until 2017, when a Scottish MP from the Scottish National Party, John Nicholson, put forward a bill to Parliament to pardon these men of these historic crimes. And he named his bill the Turing Bill. However, Theresa May's government failed to see the importance of such a bill, and it was subsequently rejected by Parliament. But it's important to add that since then, the bill has been passed in Scotland, but sadly not in England, Wales, or Northern Ireland. So it seemed clear to me and James when we were writing this show that John Nicholson's attempt to put forward his Turing Bill had an indirect relationship to the story of Alan's life. So we decided not only to dramatise Alan's life, but with that, interweave scenes that depicted the 2017 Turing Bill debates. And from there, John Nicholson kind of became a central character and became the narrator of the story and helped guide the audience through this really unbelievable narrative, really. So the scene you're about to see shows the moment in which John realises that his bill hasn't been passed, and he decides to privately confront his Tory opponent, Sam Gyimah, who prevented the bill from passing. I must stress, however, that this scene and this confrontation is purely a product of my own imagination. There are no accounts of this happening. But what I hope I have done is shown the truth of what John was feeling, and perhaps this is what he would have said if he were ever given the opportunity to speak openly and candidly. So the role of John Nicholson will be played by the fantastic Elliot Mackenzie. And after this, we also have a little musical treat from the show. So there we go. That's enough of my waffle. Enjoy the performances and enjoy the rest of the busket season. Have a nice one.
Thank you. Now just listen for a few minutes. I need you to understand what's happened here. I want you to understand what this bill means to me and people like me. Now, as you probably know, I'm gay. And I'm not going to lie, I've lived a fairly privileged life, but that's not to say that I've had it that easy. I know what it's like to feel like you're not quite the same as your schoolmates. I know what it is to feel guilty for having gay thoughts. I know what it's like to feel your gut squirm when your mother asks, "So when are we going to meet the lucky lady?" I know what it's like having no gay role models growing up who aren't the funny men in drag on TV. I know what it's like to walk into a pub and feel judged for wearing a shirt that's just a wee bit too fabulous. I know what it's like to think, are we still not there yet? When I hear about shootings in gay clubs across the sea, I know what it is to grieve for strangers who were stoned to death because they were born like me. I know the trials. I know the tribulations. I know what it's like to be a gay man. And what I really know, what I know deep down in my gut, is that acceptance is the perfect remedy for these everyday hardships. Acceptance is the most profound, beautiful gift you can give to a gay person. In fact, to any person. Now, some people might shrug and say they're not looking for validation, yeah, they're not looking for acceptance, but trust me, most of us are. We're social creatures, it's ingrained in us. Acceptance is a basic human need. And when I wrote this bill, that's what I saw written before me. Acceptance. The acceptance of everyone. The acceptance of those who've faced pain and persecution. The acceptance of those who've been made to feel like criminals their entire lives. The acceptance of daughters, sons, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, grannies, granddads, weirdos, outcasts, misfits, the acceptance of all the Alan Turings of our world, past, present, and those to come. But now my bill's been rejected, where does that leave us? Where do we go from here? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what we do. We fight. And we continue to fight until every soul on this earth accepts us for who we are. And we're not going to apologise, and we're not going to let people like you stand in our way. So brace yourself, Sammy boy, because there's a storm coming. Now, you can trot off now and celebrate your little victory. But I'll see you soon, okay? Go get him, Tiger.
Hi there, my name's James Hastings and I am the composer-lyricist of Pardoned, a new musical produced by the Bohemians Theatre Company. Now, we're really excited because today we get to share with you an exclusive from the show, one of the songs, Watching Me, performed by the incredibly talented Mr. David Fallon. Now, Watching Me was actually the last song that I wrote for the show, and it really comes at a pivotal moment. It comes at a point in the show when Alan's received his first big obstacle as a protagonist, and that comes in the form of devastating news that he has lost his best friend, Mr. Christopher Morcom. Now, in true musical theatre fashion, the song takes Alan on quite a journey. It begins with desperation at his loss, and by the end he's sort of turned it around to a kind of hopeful optimism at all the things that he wants to achieve in Chris's memory. So I really hope you enjoyed the performance, and without further ado, here it is, Watching Me.
Where did we go wrong? It felt as if we'd only just begun. How do I go on? I know I have to be strong, but who knows how or for how long. I thought we'd already won. How to make you proud of me. How can I make you proud of me? Wings that melt by the sun. When searching the skies, two eyes are better than one. We were just having fun. But I will make you proud of me. I will make you proud of me. Are you watching me? Can you listen to these words I've never spoken? If you're watching me, give me a sign. From now I swear to do all that we dreamed we could, even though I'm lost and broken. For if you're watching me, you'll be there by my side. To pass beyond horizons new, I know you will guide me through. And when the skies above turn grey, I will stand my ground and say, even though we're kept apart, I will make it through the dark to find the light of day. If you're watching me, help me to find a way on this path that was never chosen. For still I find myself a stranger in the crowd. Though I could never tell you all that I meant to say, now I am not afraid to speak it out loud. And if you are watching, I'll make you proud of